There's not much time left until Toy Story 5 hits theaters, and today we're gonna show you a lot of things about this movie. Will we see the return of major villains? Let's find out. The mystery. Maybe the biggest mystery about who the villain of this story is was revealed in a clip from the movie that was released in Japan a few days ago. It shows Bonnie opening the LilyPad startup screen, and on it appears the logo of the company that made her tablet. It's a company called Eggman Technology. As you know, their symbol is an egg, and that has everything to do with Al McWiggin. Don't remember him? We're talking about that toy collector who stole Woody in Toy Story 2. This character appeared in the movie dressed as a chicken, the animal that is known around the world for laying eggs. Do you see that? It's a clue that the one responsible for what's about to happen is Al McWiggin. The former villain lost everything when Woody left with Jessie, and of course, maybe now he knows that toys are alive, and because of that, he wants revenge. He wants to destroy all the toys because they ruined his life. Do you think that could be the story of the movie? We're going to show you much more right now. So grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Jealousy. Here's a very interesting theory. Have you ever imagined Woody becoming jealous of Jessie and Buzz? That's not hard to imagine. The truth is that something like this has already been theorized to happen. In the world of Toy Story, when toys come to life, they think they are the real things they represent. One example was Buzz in the first movie, who believed he really was a space ranger, or Forky, who thought he was a disposable fork. In Woody's original story, he's a cowboy from an old television show who had a partnership with Jessie. Do you understand what that means? Jessie and Buzz have been presented as a couple for a long time now, ever since the second movie, and now that Woody is back, he may want to get closer to the cowgirl. After all, that's Woody's original story. But wait, what about the cowboy's girlfriend? We'll explain that later, so stick with us. The reunion. Still talking about Toy Story 2, we're definitely going to see the return of Stinky Pete. He's one of the reasons this movie is being made, and he's going to meet Woody and Jessie again, you can be sure of that, and we're going to explain why. Pete was a villain who had a very clear idea of what the future of toys looked like. He wanted to leave children before toys were abandoned, and that's something that always happens, isn't it? Woody did everything he could to get back to Andy, only to say goodbye to him in Toy Story 3. You may not like Pete, but you can't say he didn't have a point. We already know how Pete's return might happen. He'll appear during one of Woody's sad moments and say, "I told you what would happen, Woody. I told you that you would be abandoned, that it wasn't worth going back to that boy. Where is he now? You don't even know anymore, and you ruined my life for nothing." It's going to be a very tense moment between the toys. Are you excited to see that scene? We want to hear what Pete is going to say to Jessie because she betrayed him too. What do you think about that? The relationship. Bo Peep is going to break up with Woody, and this time it will be forever. In Toy Story 4, we see what happened that caused the doll to leave and not appear in the third movie. She was donated to another child until she eventually ended up in that antique store. In the goodbye scene, Bo Peep even asked Woody to leave with her, but he refused because he had to go back to Andy. You know what that means, right? Now we're seeing that Bonnie is abandoning her toys because of LilyPad, and Woody shows up to help his friends. The problem is that Bo Peep no longer wants to belong to a child because kids always throw toys away eventually, and Woody, with this mission of returning to Bonnie, can't stay with his girlfriend. This will be the end of their relationship, and unfortunately, it will be forever. Maybe that's what will bring the cowboy closer to Jessie. Would you rather see Woody with Jessie or with his first girlfriend? Comment the hashtag toy so we can get to know you. Forky. And if you want another sad piece of news, Forky is going to die. Yes, that's going to happen. And if you don't understand how that could happen, we'll explain it. Bonnie created Forky on her very first day of school with all her love, and that's what brought the toy to life. The problem is that Bonnie seems to no longer care about toys. She only wants to use LilyPad. Because of that, the love that keeps Forky alive will disappear, and because of that, it's almost certain that he'll go back to being what he originally was, just a plastic fork. Yes, that's very sad, but Toy Story has always made us cry, and this time won't be any different. Lotso. Lotso is also back, and this could be one of the theories that turns out to be a major revelation in the movie. You might be wondering why LilyPad is so evil. Toys aren't usually like that. Even Lotso wasn't originally evil. Now, if you think for just a moment about what happened at Sunnyside Daycare in Toy Story 3, you'll remember that Lotso had a trick for controlling toys. He used their instruction manuals to reprogram their memories. That's exactly what he did to Buzz Lightyear. Lotso is the only toy who could have reprogrammed LilyPad's memory. turning her evil, all as a way to get revenge on Bonnie's toys because they brought an end to Lotso's cruel rule at Sunnyside. Technology. Now, if you don't believe the Lotso theory, there's another one. Bonnie's lily pad isn't the only one, and this movie is going to talk a lot about people's addiction to screens. What if this movie reveals a plan involving every lily pad in the world, where their goal is to destroy toys? This could be one of the biggest truths about the upcoming movie. The trailer already showed Woody talking to Jessie, where the two of them mentioned that thousands of toys are being abandoned, all because children are becoming addicted to screens. The theory says that tablets all around the world are forcing kids to abandon their toys. How terrible is that, right? But that may be exactly why toys are being abandoned. The problem is that if this is true, then Bonnie's lily pad is just one of the villains, and there are many of them. That's why we have no idea how Toy Story 5 is going to end. The ending. How will Toy Story end? We believe that for the first time ever, a Pixar movie could end on a sad note, and that would be a huge revolution without a doubt, but it's not impossible. Still talking about the plan involving all the lily pads in the world, think about how impossible it would be to defeat this villain, or almost impossible. Older viewers have already realized that Toy Story 5 wants to deliver a powerful message this time, and if the movie ends with the villains winning, where children abandon their toys and stay obsessed with screens, then the message would be that childhood is being stolen away. Sure, that's terrible, we know, but remember, some famous movies have ended that way before. One example was Avengers: Infinity War, where Thanos wins only to be defeated in the following movie. Could it be that lily pad won't be defeated until Toy Story 6? That would be incredible. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? The parents. Want to hear more about this? We're going to show you how the toys will defeat Lilypad, and if it really happens, get ready to tell your friends that you already knew because you watch our channel. The toys will defeat Lilypad by getting the parents' attention. Disney never does anything without a reason, and one scene in the trailer shows what's really happening. We see Bonnie sitting on the floor looking at Lilypad's screen, while Bonnie's dad is behind her staring at his phone screen. In other words, it's not just children who are obsessed with screens, adults are too, and that's a problem. When the toys speak to Bonnie's parents, they'll show them how dangerous it is for her to spend so much time with a tablet. Bonnie's father will realize that she needs a time limit on how much technology she uses. That's how the toys will defeat Lilypad, not just her, but all the others too, because Bonnie's parents will talk to the parents of her friends. Could that be how the movie ends? Jessie. But there's something else that's going to happen, and it was revealed in a clip that came out in Japan. For the first time, we see the face of Emily, Jessie's former owner from many years ago. This leaked scene is proof that Emily is coming back. Of course, she'll be an adult woman now, and that's important because Jessie and Emily are going to reunite, and maybe Emily will remember her childhood, and that could mean only one thing. Emily is going to want to take Jessie home with her, and maybe Jessie will want to stay with her former owner. Who knows? Maybe Emily already has grandchildren. Anything is possible. Sid. Do you remember Sid Phillips, Andy's mean neighbor who was the first villain in Toy Story? This character could be incredibly important in Toy Story 5 for one very simple reason. He's a human who knows that toys are alive. Pretty cool, right? Woody and the others already revealed themselves to him. That's extremely important because at the end of the first movie, we saw the toys telling Sid that he needed to play the right way. As far as we know, Sid could be a human who understands the pain of toys. And in Toy Story 3, he works at the dump. Do you understand why that matters? Toys that get thrown away could be helped by Sid. Maybe this is the toys' salvation. Sid could save our heroes, and that would be something very special. Does he repair broken toys? He certainly has the talent for it, since he used to take apart the toys in his own house. Andy. And finally, we already know that Andy's return is almost certain for one very simple reason. Fans just don't like Bonnie as much. And yes, that's a sad thing to say, but it's true. The fan theory back during Toy Story 3 was that Andy would leave the toys in the attic until he had children of his own, and from that point on, the toys would become friends with Andy's kids. Now, in Toy Story 5, Andy could return and take his toys back, not for himself, but for the children in his family who were born during the time Woody and Buzz were living with Bonnie. Will that really happen? We'll find out on June 18th when the movie is released. But until then, keep watching with us. The fun doesn't stop here. There are 2 amazing videos waiting for you on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.